Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Friday on the heels, or actually, not on the heels of the weekend. That would be Sunday, right? So we're getting ready to start the weekend, and that makes things sound so much better knowing that the weekend is just ahead of us, just past this start of the weekend race here at Homestead Miami Speedway, round 10 of season 5 of the VOR ICONIC Series. For the Homestead Miami 150, we're on a little bit of a shorter distance today than what originally was advertised. We're in a smaller field, not a big showing as the weather is getting better. People are going out and wanting to do things on Friday nights instead of sim racing. This isn't like the pandemic anymore. People want to go out now and be public and be friendly. What is up with people these days, Clendy?
Well, you know, when there are no wildfires in the immediate vicinity of Homestead Miami, the weather is so great. The grandstands are full because people want to come out to race, but the drivers' cockpits, they've got better things to be doing on their Friday evenings in real life. The weather may be perfect in the sim today. Lets it look like it's about 80 degrees ambient and 84 on the track, so the cars will be dialed in, stuck to this racing surface, and even though that it is abrasive, it will not be too hot. So you should be able to see these drivers stick fairly close together in what I believe will become a bit of a strategy race.
There are the conditions once again. Yes, those are not very challenging conditions, although there's a lot of humidity out there, but this is southern Florida, of course, so that is to be expected. Currently underway for qualifications, watching Edson Santos, who is provisionally on the pole at the moment, to put some extra laps in.
Yeah, by 3/1000ths of a second currently over Daniel Hesje, and that's like, what, a fraction of a mile an hour, Gary, on the speeds? I know the times, I don't know the speeds.
Yeah, we'll get up here on the...
An incredibly tight field because it's 3/1000ths from Santos to Hesje, and then 4/1000ths from Hesje to Silvazzi, 2/1000ths from Silvazzi to Altena, 1/1000th back to Sinclair, and then another 3/1000ths back.
Yeah,
to
everybody
Sullivan,
in the top, everybody in the top 5 is in a 2:11.4 bracket.
They're all within 1/100th of a second. That is incredibly close. Yeah, tenths of a mile an hour, not even hundredths of a mile an hour. Incredible. 2:11s point blank all the way across the board there.
And we are lining up, getting ready to go racing here for just 100 laps, 150 miles here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And we'll get in today's starting lineup. We'll get the weather off the screen. Everyone's seen that real quick. And for today's starting lineup, I'll throw it over to you, Clindy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gary. We touched on it in qualifying, but on the pole, Edson Santos with a time of 25.173, and flanked to his outside is Daniel Hesje. 2 Brazilians leading the way here in Miami. Row 2 is Patrick Silvazzi and Julian Altena. Row 3, we have Maddie Sinclair and Liam O'Sullivan. Flanking them in row 4, we have Marcos Teixeira and Matthias Strauss. Rounding out the top 10 in row 5, we have John Christensen and Dan Hench. Row 6 will be Pim Van Gastel and Matthias Marcamini. And then taking up the rear of the field who did not set time, we have Chad Simpson in the burger helmet, Hugo Galez, and Rick Sanchez. Pay no attention to my name. They changed the way leagues work. I'm not actually racing. I'm in the booth, but my car is on the speedway, and I had no idea how to get to watch the race. So apologies to everyone at home for having my name take up space on the ticker all afternoon.
Fair enough.
So just after one lap of pacing here, we'll get the field underway, and just like in the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series last night, the leader should take off on green. If you go earlier than that, you will be penalized with the drive-through, which happened to our pole sitter and eventual top 10 finisher, Adriano Pinheiro, last night.
Yeah, it's my understanding, we kind of did a little debrief with him after the race, and there might have been a language barrier. Now everyone, of course, obeys and agrees to the same set of rules. So he might want to have someone in the working with him, maybe on his stand, so to speak, someone spotting for him that maybe can maybe translate for him on
Be
English.
bilingual.
Yeah. No,
I just think that
he does a pretty good job with writing English, but I think the tools of the internet make that easier these days.
correct.
But if he doesn't do the interviews because he's afraid of the of kind of the English barrier, and that's kind of what bit him last night, unfortunately.
Well, honestly, I think Chad was probably too harsh. I mean, if you could communicate to him and ask him to give the time he gained back, what's the harm, right? No, it didn't stack up the field at all. But I'm not the steward in that league, and I understand that Chad spent a great deal of time just explaining the rules last evening. But the rules tonight are very simple. Julian goes over them as well in the pre-race in English, and I know we've got racers from all over the globe as they come through turn 4 here to take the green flag. Ensign Santos will lead the way once it's displayed. 2 by 2, they roll down the front stretch, and away we go for the Homestead Miami 150. Altena makes it 3 wide into turn 1. Eshi's the meat in that sandwich. The front 2 get away from Altena, and they're going to mount a charge on Santos here coming out of turn 2. Altena to the bottom. Let's see if he splits them 3 wide again. The Dutchman is certainly flying already early this evening.
Liam up top.
Yeah, that's what's great about this speedway. It's got progressive banking from the bottom of the top. Starts at 18 on the bottom, 20 and maybe 20 and a half all the way at the very tippy top. It allows you to find grip anywhere in its 4 lanes. Provides some really great racing. Some of the best on the surface, in my opinion.
We will go ahead and just show the driver inputs in the top 10 there in the tree, since it is a small field. 15 cars. Actually, 14 took the start. Of course, Clendy loaded in. Or actually, 16. 15 cars took the start. 16 loaded in. Clendy being a spectator. But it's got that open space at the bottom. So we'll fill it there with the driver inputs. You can also see the speeds that they're hitting at the end of the straight. Sinclair into the wall big time. He had to pick up some damage there, although iRacing forgave him.
I think his wings are okay. His side pods, I'm getting a look at it now. His right side pod is scuffed. I do not know if it is damaged. I would say that is damaged. I don't know if you can get a good look at it, Gary, but it looks well worn to me.
Yep, we got a good look at it. We'll actually zoom in on that one. There it is, yeah. Lavazzi goes purple that time by 209.8.
I think that was just 2 drivers going for the same piece of real estate, trying to avoid the dirty air of the leaders in front of them, and the countrymen clashed as they were fighting for a position just outside the podium.
Still watching this battle between Maddie and Marcamini. We have not shown you the points yet. We will do that at one point during the race here to give you an update on where we are coming into the event at the very least. But the leaders have kind of broken away a little bit.
Like the field is kind of strung out single file here. The 2 Altena Autosport VOR entries are the closest 2 that I can see. I think that some drivers might try to stretch the field here all the way to 50 laps. And if you do that, you can cut a pit stop. Yeah, I think naturally the tank will take you about 42 or 43 laps. So I think the drivers that might be lagging toward the back right now might have an alternative strategy where they're trying to cut a whole sequence of pit stops out of the race. And we've got a battle back there with Dan Ench, Chad Simpson, all scrambling for the back portion here of what was knocking on the edge of the top 10.
The lights are on. The sun is starting to go down. We were bathed in the golden hour at the time during qualifications and saw all sorts of different colors on these cars. But now as these Musco lights come on and start illuminating the racing surface, you start seeing where these colors, especially these day glow colors like Chad Simpson, begins to pop on their cars.
Yeah, or the chrome that you might have on your wrap, chrome or metallic. That on my car, it looks great under the lights, especially when you complement it with some matte pairings. It really makes the shiny pop when you've got something that doesn't shine. Chad Simpson pulled away and inserted himself as the fastest of the slow cars in the back here, so they might be breathing a breath of relief knowing that Chad Simpson's willing to tow them around the track and offer the draft, going fast enough to keep tabs on Matthias Marcolini just ahead. And Sinclair has put himself right in front of John Christensen here, and in fact, I think his side pod has not necessarily been repaired, but iRacing has effectively said, hey, that damage wasn't so severe, we're going to give it back to you. I see no abrasions, no damage whatsoever now on the right side of Sinclair's car.
Yeah, I didn't really see that as Sinclair. He was, I think there's a lot of net code there. I think it's more of a driver saying, whoa, Sinclair sends it to the inside. Up to Sarah there, and also
and that's
grabbed
a surefire piece of evidence that he has no damage, right?
He grabbed a little bit of the apron there, got a little squirrely.
Sinclair dials up the white line here in 3 and 4, powers around to Sarah, and he is marching his way back towards the front. But Tessera's not done yet. He takes the momentum he has from the high side. Looks just one fin lower than Sinclair, but that dirty air really sets you behind in the middle of the corner. Sinclair's able to power out and establish a position here down in 7th place.
Hesje getting around or trying to challenge Strauss now. Sarah to the inside of Sinclair.
Look where the cars in front of them are running. That's what's dictating this battle. Hesje and Sinclair ran the same line through 3 and 4. That set Sinclair back and left Sarah mount to charge. Oh, Strauss touches the apron. He's up towards the wall. Great save there. No harm, no foul, but he may lose the possession here to Hesje going into turn 1.
Just that little bit of a lift, a little breath of the throttle, just enough. Gives up the position. Move Hesje up to 5th, Strauss back to 6th. Your top 5 at the moment is Santos, Salvazzi, O'Sullivan, and Altena. Your biggest mover at the moment is O'Sullivan, up 3 spots. Started 6th, now in 3rd.
I'm seeing Chad Simpson up 4 spots from starting 14th up to 10th.
Yep, now he's moved up one there. Oh, he's flirting with moving up the 1 spot right here. He's side by side with Christensen. It's 44 Nation. See you all in chat. How you all doing? Thanks for joining us.
The cheese people are about to get put on the burger helmet. Here comes Simpson side by side with Christensen. This whole group of 5 cars, they really don't strike me as saving fuel. They all seem to be pushing pretty hard. 2 behind them, though, Dan Ench and Rick Sanchez, they may be up to something. They may have calculated the pace they need to run because they started to lose touch with the cars in front. Today, Gary. He is knocking on the door of Matthias Strauss. After that little bit of contact with Liam O'Sullivan earlier, I think Sinclair is driving with something to prove.
Sinclair, one of our points leaders, many points leaders this season, earlier in the season. Speeds are starting to come down a little bit as, oh wow, Strauss might have tapped the turn 2 wall on exit. Oh, Matty in the wall that time.
Oh, and Sinclair's in the wall on 4. You gotta think with your head, not with your feet, Matty. Come on, buddy, you got this.
Here's your last lap speeds at 2:06s. 2:07 for Heshy is the fastest last lap.
I think Sinclair might have been watching too many Jesper Orman highlights from this series earlier in the year, where it seemed like every race he won, he was smacking the wall off corner exit every time he could.
See if Heshy can run down that lead group. The top four kind of pulled away a little bit. It's Edson Santos. Will get you back the intervals, everything, so you know what the times are. Santos has broken the draft envelope. He is a leader by 1.8 seconds over Silvazzi. Silvazzi all by himself. Then Liam O'Sullivan, and then Julian, and then Heshy. So who's burning the most fuel and who is saving the most fuel on this first stint? It's really going to matter. And are we going to see somebody maybe possibly do like a 33, 33, 34, make an extra stop in there? Or are we going to see someone just do a 2-stopper? Are we going to just see someone do a 1-stopper? There's a couple different strategies out there that people can try. If you want to push every single lap, you could attempt that 3-stopper if you wanted to, but that's just a lot of time on pit road. And also, the way that you enter pit road here is you must enter off the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be lighting up to get the 3-stop strategy. I think the 2-stop, where you stop on 33 and then on 66 and then bring that to the finish, is a pretty good strategy. I think it's the only strategy that is going to be able to compete with the 50-50.
Here are the points coming into today's race. Liam O'Sullivan with a 41-point lead over Julian and Silvazzi. Silvazzi 87 back, Sinclair 93 back, Heshy 97 back. So really Heshy being ahead of Sinclair at the moment might move Heshy up a spot in the top 5 in the championship after today's race. We'll see how this all pans out. Jesper in 6th, Edson Santos in 7th, Strauss in 8th, Christensen 9th, and Pim in 10th. That is your top 10. Here you see the remainder of the drivers for the series in the top 20. Caution on the racetrack. Jan Christensen.
Oh no, the cheese people. Oh no, Christensen's going to be done for the day. His car is ruined.
Yeah, that is pretty toasty over there. And let's go back in time and check out what happened.
So to me, this looks very similar to the O'Sullivan and Sinclair incident.
Ooh, Marcamini. Oh.
Yes.
And Hugo goes into it, and Sanchez, I think, might have got a part of it.
I think Sanchez might have gotten blessed by the netcode gods because he went full bore through Christensen and spun him around like a top, but he stayed straight and true like a dart or an arrow.
A lot of netcode there. So everybody coming to pit road, that might make things a little bit different now. This is going to turn, I think everyone is kind of committing now to 2 stops.
I think pit road's going to be a very busy place. You've got all of the contenders on the access road, which you must take in order to pit under yellow here.
Heshy lost a position on pit road. Rouse gains 1. Top 4 unchanged is Santos, Silvazzi, Liam O'Sullivan, Julian Altena. That is your top 4. Strauss in 5th, Heshy 6th, Becerra 7th, Sinclair 8th, Chad Simpson now up to 9th, and Hugo Gallas in 10th. But wonder what damage Hugo might possibly have that we cannot see in his car. He was involved a little bit in the incident. He drove through that zone. Matty Sinclair staying on the apron, coming to pit road again for another splash. Might have some damage on his car, too, that he might want repaired. We'll see.
And I think the cars that have damage, none of it seems repairable in my view. I think anybody who's got something is going to have to limp around with what they have, or park it. In Christensen's case, I think he's done for the day.
Archimede also showing the meatball on pit road. He looks like he might be done. Christensen for sure is done. Sinclair coming to pit road to get a splash. No, Archimede back underway. Meatball has been lifted.
I would not expect Archimede to have much pace. His rear toe looks to be out of alignment to me when I compare it to the other cars visually. But you never know. Sometimes I had rear toe damage once at Pocono, and the car felt better after I had the rear damage than what it had beforehand.
It changed that geometry to help you through the corners a little bit better.
Well, I think Pocono is a really weird case, right? Where you have to be good in 2 corners and garbage in the 3rd, and it changed which corner I was garbage in, and I kind of liked it better.
But those old bits, you smack the wall and all of a sudden your car behaves better.
Yeah, you told it once and said, oh, I better not do that again.
Going to green this time by lap 30, a third of the way through this thing just about. 100 laps scheduled. Thanks for joining us. Going to green here. Coming to lap 31. Edson Santos up to speed, and he's going to lead the field into 1, followed by Salvazzi, O'Sullivan, and Altena.
Really good jump there from Santos. Let the field get going in a timely and fashionable manner. No one jumping or getting accordioned there, which is always a concern, especially at these abrasive tracks where people can spin the tires on the restart.
At just 100 laps, 150 miles tonight. This is a 1.5-mile oval, progressively banked, and here comes Salvazzi taking a peek on the outside. This facility has gone through a number of alterations. In fact, I think that it would make the Kardashians proud. This place has been through so many facelifts. Used to be a miniature version of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it was a rectangular 4 distinct corners attached by a short chute. And that was taken down really because of the angles of attack at the wall were too extreme and dangerous for the drivers. So it went to a flat oval in this configuration. Then later, they removed the flatness and added this progressive banking, and this is how it's been ever since, about 2006 or so.
It looks like O'Sullivan has put himself in 2nd here.
Yes, he has moved
Santos
on up.
Kind of fed Salvazzi the dirty air to put him there, and I wouldn't have done that. I'd have tried to keep O'Sullivan back. I know that he's got a lot of pace on these ovals, and right now he's ripping the top, riding that Kyle Larson line right against the wall, which he touches, trying to catch Santos.
Very up against the wall. There's something called in the sim a grip strip. And people go up there and find a little bit of extra grip to help them rip that top side, but you have to have a very fine hand when you're going to run the top looking for that grip strip. And if 1 little inch you're off, you are going to be smacking the wall. Now you don't have a great deal of distance to go to smack the wall, so damage will be light, but that is going to scrub off speed and make you a target for the car behind you. The all-time IndyCar wins leaders here, by the way, Sam Hornish, Scott Dixon, and Dan Weldon each have 3. Michael Andretti has 2 wins here, and he's the only driver to win on the mini Indy configuration and on the oval.
Is he the next sporting family to get involved with the Kardashians?
No, what's that?
Well, because isn't that how they got famous? They were like OJ's lawyer's daughters or whatever. And so,
well,
because they're able to master all configuration. Never mind. Bad joke. Bad joke.
Caitlyn Jenner is with that family, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the affiliation is, but that they are all in that TV show.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
Well, Caitlyn,
maybe
Caitlyn, formerly Bruce, used to be a pit road reporter for IndyCar racing back in the 80s on NBC.
That could probably come out of Olympic coverage where handling a microphone, pretty easy. It's not too different.
Hey, you can handle a microphone. You have good personality. You can talk to people. You know, that was Jenner at the time, still is, and you know, Bruce at the time did pretty well. And you could find old telecasts from when NBC covered IndyCar racing from time to time. Paul Page was in the booth as well for those, and his wife at the time, Sally Larvick, she used to also be on pit road. I think he's still married to Sally.
So Altena here is working on O'Sullivan, and he's bringing Silvazzi with him. They're all going to have a 3-car dogfight here for second, going into turn 3.
Silvazzi restarted this stint in second spot, and he is now back to 4th.
I really think it's line selection. I think if Patrick goes back and watches this race, he'll see he followed right in Edson's tire tracks when O'Sullivan went to the wall, right? Went to go find that clean air. And that really pays so many dividends here to be able to put your car in position where no one else wants to and find speed. O'Sullivan now back by Altena while they're too wide behind. Heshy to the wall to try to get around Strauss. And Teixeira is lurking, trying to put together a run on Heshy because he went a little too high. Caution came out at just the right time to kind of spoil all the strategy fun.
Yeah.
And now basically your
You're
options
right.
are, do I short pit or do I overcut here at the end? So I have always found that the overcut is way more powerful here, just because if you take care of your equipment, you take care of your tires, the fall off really isn't that bad. It maybe peaks at half a second or 3/4 of a second. Whereas if you undercut, you feel like you have to push so hard to get ahead of everyone in front of you because you're on the back foot to begin with. Usually you undercut because maybe you're running 3rd, 4th, 5th, and you want to win the race, right? So for example, let's say you're Patrick Silvazzi. Right now you're 2 seconds behind the leader. To make up those 2 seconds, right, you feel like you've really got to get everything out of your tires. So you do, and then you're, 3/10, 4/10, maybe half a second ahead of Santos after he pits, but he pit 7, 8, 10 laps after you, and it's trivial for him to just blow your doors off, just like Silvazzi did to O'Sullivan there on the exit of turn 2. O'Sullivan creeping up the racetrack through 3 and 4, pinning it to the bottom, giving his competitors space. You love to see it when competitors race hard and clean. And there, O'Sullivan did the same thing that Patrick had been doing, just kind of picked the same line. You cannot afford to do that in these cars at this track. There are so many viable places to put your car. There's no point to follow right in the attenuator of the car in front of you. And look at how hard O'Sullivan pushed on the exit of corner because he, again, was right in the dirty air of Silvazzi.
And he is riding that top there. We got a high view, this camera angle. They are trying to pull away from that group behind him. Strauss and Heshy and Teixeira are trying to get organized. They continue to fall behind, and this is probably a good time. I should bring up gaps for everybody now as the gaps start to fall bigger and bigger. Santos with a 1.4 second lead over Altena, and Altena about a 7/10 of a second lead over Silvazzi. O'Sullivan 4/10 back of Silvazzi. And it's a 1.3 back to Strauss. We're at the halfway point. Soon as Edson Santos crosses the start-finish line. Now, just noticed the bright pink. I just noticed the bright pink flag stand in this new scan of the track.
Yeah, with the refresh. Yeah. The Miami colors. Technically, we're halfway now on the backstretch, halfway through, completing lap 50. But semantics. Doesn't really matter. But the iRacing spotter, whenever you're in the session, he'll always call halfway in the race 1 lap late because they never call it early. It's like he would have just got the call there at the line, which, you know, you're now working lap 51. You've completed lap 50. You're past halfway already.
Yeah, you got half the races in the books now, yeah.
What I like to say is potato, potato.
And
looks like Strauss tagged the wall on the exit of 4.
Yeah.
Hustling, trying to catch O'Sullivan. Tessero's going to reel him in because of it.
Got a couple distinct groups out there. We got our leader, really kind of by himself almost. Then Julian. Then back to Salvazzi. Salvazzi getting around O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan in 4th. That's kind of your lead group, although they're not really as much together as they have been earlier in the race. Then we got this group together right behind them. Strauss, Teixeira, Hesje, and Simpson now sneaking into the picture. And if racing doesn't resume here and everybody can run each other down, also joining, Strauss in the wall, and here comes Teixeira.
Yeah, he's playing a dangerous game, flirting with that 4th wall turn. It's really inviting to pick the throttle up early, coming out of turn 3. Oh, they're going to be really tight here off of 2. Teixeira is not clear. Strauss still fighting back with momentum on the high side. They're going to be too wide, diving into turn 3. Let's see if Strauss has learned his lesson and will back up the corner exit. He's hustling, not in the wall, on the side pod of Teixeira, and he's going to pull ahead right at the start-finish line. That car is on the exit, and he tucks in front of Teixeira, says, no, this is my line. You can't have this error. Gives him a little bit of the wash here on exit, and Strauss will be able to pull away here down the front stretch. And really all that did is just let Daniel Hesje get closer and closer to this duo. Say, oh, top 5. Don't mind if I do. Please, gentlemen, continue discussing who will be 5th, because if you continue to do so, it will be me.
$57 of 100. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash the like button. We appreciate you being here on this Sunday afternoon for the penultimate round of the Iconic Series Championship for Season 5. One more round after this. Next week is Championship Friday at Chicagoland. Join us, same bat time, same bat channel, right here on the Velocity Online Racing YouTube channel.
And we got Edson Santos fans in the chat. Vitor, nice to see you. Always fun to race against you on the track. Way to root your teammate on this Friday evening. Teixeira will not quit. He and Strauss are still negotiating here. Have not yet come to amenable terms.
Julian's running down Edson very slowly, but he has now cracked it inside of a second. Now 0.6 to the leader.
Julian was the only driver, to his credit, that was able to keep tabs on me and run in the same zip code as me in the Horizon race here. Or no, was it the Isra? It was, I believe it was Horizon, but it might have been Isra. Wherever I raced the 11. I raced the 11 in Horizon, right?
Oh, Julian in the wall.
Julian's in the wall. Dang, I should not have said anything. Commentator's curse. Sorry, Julian.
He's still there, even though he's smacking the wall. Last that was an ISRA. Okay. Last time through there, he keeps it off the wall this time, but he's still running down Edson.
Hey man, just because the wall's there doesn't mean it's slow.
Oh.
I remember many, many times drivers would, especially at Bristol Motor Speedway in sim, in the trucks or the Xfinity car, they run the top, right? And you run the top so hard that sometimes you put your right sides up on there and let it kick you through the corner. to push you out with the much speed you can have. And people would be hitting the incident limit in like official races, which are not that long, maybe 100 laps at Bristol, which is, a third of the distance we're doing right now. And you hit 17 incidents and you get a black flag, you get DQ'd just because you're trying to go fast, hitting the wall.
Julian is going to be there in the next lap or so. He is in the draft envelope now. Watch him push wide there at the corner exit, but he's going to get a run down the backstretch as he's in the draft. They see that number start coming down, 4/10 to the leader. It gets a little bit longer in the straights. Julian in the wall again.
And this is where if Edson wanted to be really mean, he could see the habit that Julian is building of pushing on exit and just mirror driving. He'd be pushing with no air. It looks like Edson's creeping a little higher this time, punishing that line from Altena, but he's still not maximizing exit, which is taking your right side tires and putting them all the way on the wall on corner exit.
Yeah, he could almost, I kind of call it walking the dog. So you can attach an imaginary leash, right, to the car behind you, and you can lead them unknowingly and unwittingly up into the wall if they just simply are focused and too focused on you, and they follow exactly in your excuse me, hotline's getting the call here. They follow your tire tracks exactly up into the wall, and you keep it off the wall, of course, but they're not paying attention. And next thing they know, they run out of room on exit and they're in the wall.
A little bit of target fixation. Pim Van Gastel is target locked on pit road. He gets down to pit road speed and is going to come to the attention of his crew.
Scheduled stop. This will be a final stop here for Pim at lap 66.
First one to blink. Let's see if the undercut works out for Pim today. So he will be like much, much faster than the cars around him when he exits.
He went 37 laps on that
Chad
stint.
Simpson.
Yep, he went 37 laps on that stint. Simpson, he's off pit road. He's getting back on the way. His final stop is done. Julian's back within 4/10 of Edson Santos, your leader, who's led pretty much the entire day to this point. And do these guys blink and come to pit road to top off that tank and get a last set of tires to bring them home? Join us again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for the IndyCar Championship when they take to the oval here at Homestead. Still a championship to be decided there as well. That's 3 p.m. tomorrow. Edson Santos, green flag pit stop underway, coming to pit road, using the access road off the backstretch as you're supposed to, coming to the cones where he needs to be at pit road speed limit on the limiter. There he goes. Now he's looking for his spot all the way down at the very end of pit road. Final stop for this race for our leader.
O'Sullivan came in hot. Santos came in conservatively. Let's see what Altena does here because he's in as well as Silvazzi.
Altena in now. Silvazzi in now. Daniel Hesje's going to stay out and try to lead some laps here late.
And what he wants to see is a yellow flag. A yellow flag will turn this race around for Hesje.
Hesje looks like he's coming to pit road. Here comes Edson Santos. Julian on the pit access road out. This is going to be close. And he comes out ahead of our former leader. Can he now hold him off as he comes up to speed? Edson with a head full of speed on the high side. And we're going to go nose to nose at the start-finish line going into one. And Edson, Brazilian, clears himself right across Julian's nose.
And that's pretty important because Julian's got the fresher tires here. So let's see what happens as they go down the backstretch and Julian chooses the outside. How much does he pinch Santos here in 3?
It is only a matter of 1 lap difference on those tires now. And Julian on the high side gets the lead, but he's not quite clear. Needs to hold his line. He is going to pinch and give no inches whatsoever to Edson Santos in 1 and 2, and he's cleared him. We have a new leader. It is Julian Altena, Edson Santos second, Liam O'Sullivan third, Patrick Salvazzi fourth, Chad Simpson fifth. Chad up 8 spots. Julian winner of 2 of the last 4. Not able to make any ground really too much in the championship because the championship leader also has won 2 of the last 4. $25 to go here at Homestead.
And then we've got a 4-car fight here for the back of the top 10, starting at 7th with Sinclair. Tessera's to his inside, and then Gallas and Pim Van Gastel are duking it out just behind Sinclair. And they're on all sorts of different tire strategies. Some have pitting in the last 12 laps, some just a few laps ago.
Sinclair, 17-lap-old tires. He stopped early. He's a bit of a sitting duck in this group. But Tessera, 5-lap-old tires. Gallas, 4-lap-old tires, and then we got Pim with 10-lap-old tires. Hugo on the high side around Matty. And clears him.
Yeah, Matty last pit at lap 60 or lap 59, so he's on a very harsh undercut, whereas these guys are more split the last stage in half.
Meanwhile, back up front, still challenging for the lead is Edson Santos. 2 tenths, now 3 tenths behind our leader. All by himself in third is Liam O'Sullivan, which, frankly, if Liam wants to finish right there, I'm sure he'll be just as happy for that position in the championship. That might, it's not going to clinch it for him, but it will definitely make things harder for Julian at Chicagoland next week. Especially if we have small fields like this.
And when you have such a limited number of competitors on the racetrack, it's pretty easy to keep track of their strategies and to race against them, right? So if you're Julian, you know you've only really got to worry about Edson right now. So his job right now is play defense and control the line. Like, control the race. Don't let Edson set the tempo. Don't let Edson put you in a compromising position. You need to put Edson in the compromising positions. And that's the best thing you can do is just by running the bottom. Run a car length up off the bottom. So if Edson tries to take the white line, you punish it. That's like defensive driving 101 in these DW12s.
We're watching with 20 to go. Speaking of DW12s, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum actually gained their first race-winning DW12s for their collection yesterday. Chip Ganassi, actually, I don't think donated. I think there was an acquisition there. So the museum, the Hall of Fame Museum there on the grounds at Indianapolis Motor Speedway acquired 11 cars from Chip Ganassi Racing, including one of the concept cars they had for the DW12 era, which was the Delta Wing, and also one of the Brickyard 400 winning stock cars from Chip Ganassi Racing. But the first DW12 race winner is now being inducted into the Hall of Fame Museum, acquired from Chip Ganassi. There was one of them was driven by Dario Franchitti, one of his 3 Indy 500 victories. hard to believe. I was watching the video yesterday when they were talking about getting the new cars for the collection. The newest car, up until they acquired the cars yesterday, the newest car the museum have of a race winner was Jacques Villeneuve's car from 95. That was the most current car in the museum. As Julian gets really close to the wall there on exit 4, the most current Indy 500 race-winning car they had in the museum was Jacques Villeneuve's car from 95. Hard to believe there was nothing newer in there. $16 to go here at Homestead Miami. And next race for the Iconic Series next week, right here on the VOR channel. It's the, just go to youtube.com. Again, Velocity Online Racing keyword search. That's how you find the channel. Just subscribe to it, ring the bell, hit the thumbs up. That was, I'm sure Julian would appreciate that. And next week, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Chicagoland, we will be right here. The final race of this season in the Iconic Series. And then next week is also championship weekend for the IndyCar Series at 4 p.m. When they also go to Chicagoland on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, on Saturday, next Saturday. 14 to go. Altena, Santos, O'Sullivan, Salvazzi, and Simpson. The top 5 have kind of stabilized at this point. Simpson is kind of holding off Strauss. Yep.
Yeah, he's on the undercut, and Strauss is on the traditional split that last stage and a half. So this will probably be the only real discussion for position here towards the end. Now, Strauss needs to be mindful of where Simpson's choosing to put his car. Strauss could choose to go all the way to the white line or all the way to the wall, but again, he's running right in the tire tracks, and that's the one way you can't pass someone. Dials up the outside this time. Let's see how he builds a run down the backstretch. Strauss is going to have a huge head of steam. Tucks up, gets the draft. He's going to pull to the inside. Here he comes for 5th place.
Ooh, Strauss grabs a little bit of the apron there. A little bit of the white line and wiggles. Now he goes to the inside trying to break the draft. Chad just holds his line. That's probably a good thing because he keeps his forward momentum full, and he's going to pull to the inside of Strauss through 1 and 2. Not going to be able to negotiate it down there on the lower banking.
And then from here, now that Strauss is ahead of Simpson, those fresh tires are going to show how much faster they are. They always say in racing, catching them is one thing and passing them is another. Well, once you have passed them, if you have the faster car, 99 times out of 100, the car behind will never have anything for the car that just passed them. Especially when the strategies have offset them in pace by so much, right? These drivers, their fastest times together are within a half a tenth of a second, a 3.45, the fastest lap of the race for Strauss, and then a 4.95 for Chad Simpson. Like, they've got the same amount of pace, raw pace beneath them, but these tires are what's doing the heavy lifting for Strauss.
We ride with Simpson on his trademark sesame seed bun hat that he's got, or helmet that he's wearing. Not quite Mayor McCheese, but there you go. Eight to go here at Homestead Miami. I probably just dated myself with that comment, by the way. Do you remember the McDonald's characters? Grimace,
like the Hamburglar, and
Hamburglar, and Mayor McCheese.
Who's the Duck Girl? I don't know the Duck Girl's name.
The Duck Girl. That I don't remember. The Fry Guys. They look like the little ghosts from Pac-Man.
Her name is Birdie the Early Bird, and she's the breakfast mascot.
Ah, the breakfast mascot. Okay. 6 to go here at Homestead Miami. And actually now Tessera has caught Simpson, so we're going to have a battle for 6th here. as Simpson just on these really, really older tires, kind of giving up time to other cars. But to Sarah, really, he has 5-lap better tires, 5-lap younger tires. But at this point in the race, the wear is about the same.
Yeah, like I said, if you do a good job taking care of your equipment, they cliff at about the same level, right? So I don't think Chad really abused his stuff fighting with Strauss too badly. But the driver who really wants to see these three mix it up over the last 5 laps is Daniel Hesje, who's got the freshest tires of them all. But he's...
Battle for third. Patrick Silvazzi caught Liam O'Sullivan on the high side through the far end of the racetrack, down through 1 and 2. Now down the backstretch, Silvazzi clears him and moved Patrick up to third, and he's eyeing another podium finish here. Yet to get that big oval win yet, but still racking up the podiums. And that's good news for Julian because, yeah, that's good news for Julian because that's more points that he's going to gain in the championship going into the final race next week at Chicagoland. Julian now 3 to go. Actually, less than 3 to go. Coming to 2 to go. Reviewing the season, how it started. Liam won at Texas back in January. Jesper Orman won the next 2 at Michigan and Milwaukee. Daniel Hesje got his first win in the series in round 4 at Iowa. Edson Santos at Kentucky. Liam O'Sullivan got his second win of the season at Indianapolis in March. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go.
No, O'Sullivan and Silvazzi! They've come to terror in turn 4. The race will be over, or is it the white flag lap?
No, white flag lap. So Strauss now moves up to third, and O'Sullivan now, wow, Julian's going to come off the corner. We're going to get the win. He's going to want to watch him get the win, but we need to go to the review and watch the replay. Julian getting the win, but that is not the news.
And Hugo Gallus was involved as well. An absolute disaster on turn 4 on the final lap.
This is a lot like Atlanta in the Elite Racing League last week. But let's check this out. Oh, Liam just goes up into him.
Yeah, he did a full send and did not have enough in the tank to make it stick. That put Strauss to third, Simpson to fourth. He held off to Sarah and Hesje there at the end.
Let's watch this full wreck as it happens. And here comes Strauss. Strauss sees this. He dials through. He missed what happened to Hugo. Oh, he just clipped it. No one was willing to lift. Not that close to the white flag. All right, wow. Wow. First of all, let's see who's the podium now is Altena, Santos, and Strauss. That is going to be your podium. There we go. And let's get the final standings up on the screen here. Strauss on a bad day. Also had the purple lap.
And Altena being the class of the field there, he just really took Santos to school on the tire conservation and getting into and off of pit road. That's really going to tighten up the championship battle here. It's really, really well executed day for him and Santos. Trouble for the other championship contenders, so I'm really interested to see what the points look like after these results.
Yeah, that's going to make things really tight because, well, we're going to see the standings right now. It is R10 with his third win in 5 races. When he needs to get hot, he is getting hot. Winner by 2.3 seconds over Edson Santos. Strauss with the surprise podium there at the end comes home third. Simpson up 10 spots from where he started, comes home fourth. Teixeira in fifth, Heshy sixth, Gaspin Van Castel in seventh, Addy in eighth, Sanchez ninth, and Dan Inch in 10th. Hugo Gallas back at 11, Savazzi and Liam O'Sullivan all involved in that last lap, coming to the last lap incident. 11th, 12th, and 13th. Mark Amini, he and Christensen got together early in the race, right around lap 25 or so. They're 14th and 15th. And Clindy, even though you didn't line up, you're going to get credited for 16th. How about that?
Hey, I didn't have to pass anybody, but I finished 100 laps down. So if Julian wants to give me points for 16th, I will take them.
All right. And let's get the stat line in there for Thea Strauss. And we will bring him into the room. We'll just kind of ask him about his race because he was having problems back there and see just kind of what his plan was. But we'll bring him up in here now. Here is Strauss finishing third. Surprise, a podium finish when you weren't expecting one. But it was a bit of a rough race for you, a little bit of everything. Saw you hitting the wall, saw you racing others. I'm sure you didn't expect the podium there at the end, but talk about your race.
Yeah, it was eventful for sure. I mean, the 28 Team Watson Racing car was pretty okay. I mean, I just got back from activity from work, so barely any practice. So, and we got a new set just before the race, so it was heading into the unknown for sure. And I can't even say that I'm happy with this podium because this one deserves to be Patrick's podium, but at least it's a Team Watson car on the podium.
Go ahead, Clindy.
Yeah, so what goes through your mind when you come off the final corner and your two competitors in front of you are both sideways? How do you both miss it and stay composed to hit your marks and stay in line?
I saw that Patrick was on the low side and off the tarmac, and so I knew he wouldn't go anywhere. He just was trying to predict where Liam were going onto the car, and when it happened, it was just disappointment because, as I said, Patrick deserves this podium, and I'm feeling for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's a teammate of yours, but you did get the bronze medal today. That gives you the opportunity to shout out any other teammates, friends, family, or sponsors you'd like. The mic's all yours, and take as long as you want. You earned it.
Thank you. Of course, I want to thank Patrick to stay with me through the whole race, and even if it was a long race, but as always, thanks to Team Watson Racing and Mom, Dad, who might have watched some of the racing, and to the brothers who supports me and allows me to do this week out and week in. So thank you to everyone.
All right, congratulations on the podium. Even though you feel you didn't deserve it, it's still, if someone's got to finish on the third step. You got it. Congrats. We will catch you in a week at the final race of the season at Chicagoland.
Thank you. Yeah, see you.
Kind of a subdued celebration there by yes. We do have an update in points. We will be updating points right now before we talk to Edson Santos. we have a battle going into the final race of the season. It is only 12 points now separate Liam O'Sullivan, our leader, and Julian Altena in second. Maddie Sinclair is a distant third by 1 point over Daniel Hesje, who has now moved up into fourth and has tied Patrick Salvazzi because of that finish. So there is a tie for fourth. So 1 point separates three drivers actually four drivers. Three drivers, excuse me. Yeah, Maddie Sinclair, Hesje, and Salvazzi, all 1 point, one way or another, could finish in third spot. They just need to have a good race next week. Then we have Edson Santos, who is classified in sixth, but he would be in sixth because really Hesje and Salvazzi are tied for fourth, so that'll be fourth and fifth. Hesje gets the tiebreaker because I believe he has a win this. Strauss in seventh, Orman eighth, Pim Van Gastel ninth, and Christensen in 10th. So that's your top 10 of the points going into the final race. Let's talk to Edson.
I actually don't see Edson in the interview room.
I don't see him. Okay, so
he must be out partying. It's Carnival.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know if it's Carnival.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm about to say, I don't know what it is if holiday-wise down there, but I would be doing that over this as well. But there we see Edson's stat line. We want to give him all of his flowers. Lowest that he ever got was sixth, and he did lead a great deal of laps here. He led 69 laps. So he was kind of your driver, kind of controlling the pace for much of the day. But we'll go ahead and bring in Julian now. And here he is. Julian, your winner, third win in the last 5 races, on a bit of a hot streak, and at the right time, no less. And everything really changed in those last 2 laps. You were going to get the win regardless by looking at your the gap that you built over Edson. And that was a great final pit stop, by the way, where you were able to kind of close the gap and really race him down and hold him off for that battle to keep the lead. But everything really changed for you in those final 2 laps now with Liam not making it to the finish, getting tied up, him and Salvazzi there coming to the white flag. I guess your thoughts going into the final race of the season. You got a shot at this now.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but Liam always finds a way to throw away championship, so hopefully he does next week too.
Wow, shots fired, Clindy. Shots fired.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bit of trash talking, but yeah, I mean that final stint was really good. I also put on a pixel perfect pass on Edson there, so yeah, it was a good race there overall. The rust from 20 days of no driving has paid off, I guess. No expectations, no thoughts, head empty, and yeah, it all worked out. Just used the first half of the race to settle in, and yeah, once Edson burned his stuff up, I was in it, and then Liam did his things. He feels pretty bad about it, which I understand. It looked really silly from from the replay. So yeah, I safe to say I understand Patrick's frustration, but yeah, mistakes happen. So
yeah.
I'm just happy that on my end, it puts me in a shot at the title in what will be the final season of this league, at least for a while. So yeah, looking forward to the next race next week, and we'll see how it goes in Chicagoland.
Lindy, we're only human. We put our driver suits on one leg at a time. Sounds like it was just a mistake there in the final lap.
Everybody makes mistakes, and you learn from your mistakes. It makes you a better driver. Julian, you made very, very few mistakes today, but you did seem pretty intent on knocking down some of the walls on the exits of turn 2 and turn 4. I speculated maybe you'd watch some of Jesper's replays from earlier in the season where he won after doing that, setting some torrid laps. What's the strategy there? Did these cars go faster when you hit them on the right side?
I don't know. I have no clue. I don't care. I just like turning left. I'm just happy to be here. But I mean, I don't know if it actually helps, to be honest. Certainly didn't slow me down. So, I mean,
well, that sounds like it's helping to me. So,
if it doesn't slow you down, just keep doing it.
Exactly.
Well, if it isn't
as much as you
broken,
can.
don't fix it.
Right.
Yeah. To be fair, though, of learning and everything, I have you to thank Kyle as well. If you remember the ISRA and the other the Horizon race, I believe it was, that we did following you.
Yep. Yeah. I'm
It
glad
was a lot
I
of fun.
brought that up on the broadcast. I'm glad you remember. I actually gave you compliments. You were the only driver that could stick with me in those races, and I didn't say that. I didn't posit that I taught you anything, but now that you have admitted that I have, thank you for going to school, man. I really appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, people watching, join the votive Discord and join the nerd channel or whatever you guys called it for the coaching channel. Um, but no, seriously, was fun to raise you there, and actually, because you register as a driver every single week now, I can actually say that I beat you in a race because you're registered as a driver.
That's not fair. There's a big asterisk there. Come on.
On a technicality.
Get good, Kyle.
I am good. I am good. Well, Julian, while we have you, I know that this league is coming to a close for its season and for the immediate future, so don't spend all day talking about whims and fancies, but is there anyone else you want to throw shade at, or a sponsor, or a teammate, or someone you want to shout out while we have you in the booth? You won today, so it's the right is all yours to do so.
I wouldn't want to throw shade at a sponsor, would I? But yeah, just the teammates that showed up. Hugo was a bit fixated on the green car, and he didn't see Patrick on the inside there, so he took himself out. But gave me a good laugh watching the replay. That explains why he went quiet all of a sudden. But yeah, Liam for the help as well, because I wasn't sure if I should run fifth gear or not, and he told me that he was running it, so I was running it. So thanks to him for that. And everybody on the team in general. You guys, as always, for broadcasting this. My girlfriend next to me. And Alex from IFS Personal Financial Planning. And yeah, just looking forward to the future of VOR as a whole. With or without the Iconic Series, it's gonna be exciting. So looking forward to it. But I have to say, I am really desperate for a break after this. I cannot wait for the 3 months of no iRacing. Basically, just focus on work, get the money saved up, and maybe do some upgrades here and there. But just take some nice weeks off, because I've been doing this for 5 years almost. So I need a break.
Congratulations on the win, and now it's going to come down to the final race. You made it tighter. 12 points separate the top two. Good luck next week. We'll see you when we take the green flag at Chicagoland, with maybe hopes of getting yet another championship in the Iconic Series. Congratulations on the win today, and we'll see you in a week.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll move him down into the waiting room. Edson says, can't go to the interview. He has a fever and a sore throat today. He says, congrats to Julian. Hey, I am right there with you, Edson. I have felt awful today, too. I barely made it through this thing. So I am ready to wrap this thing up and give everyone a good start to their weekend. Clindy, thanks for being here, buddy. I know you are entertaining guests. I hope they were entertained at our little virtual race here, and how kind of real we make it. It looks real. The graphics look real, and it's just us sitting in our rooms kind of talking a little bit about race cars here and there. But it's fun nevertheless here on a Friday. So thanks for being here. Your final thoughts before we go to the next race, final race of the season at Chicagoland.
Can you beat a race with last lap drama? I don't think you can. Shortening this race did not affect the quality of the racing, the strategy, the undercuts, the overcuts. We saw it all. Obviously a smaller field than Julian would have liked today, but we put on some action on track, and we did our best to showcase it and catch it all. I feel like we spent a lot of time making sure everyone got their due and their call out throughout the field. So hopefully they can take a look and show everyone how cool they looked on camera passing. Hey, Mom, look at me. I do that all the time. When she watches me, she cheers me on. She's my biggest fan. But, one more race at my home track at Chicagoland, and then we're done in these DW12. So it's been a ride, Gary. Thanks for having me along, and I hope you feel better. And one note to everyone in Brazil, I looked it up, and I apologize. Carnival is before Easter, not after Easter. So I'm very sorry about that. It's before Lent, like back in March. So.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize for anyone who celebrates Carnival. I did not know. I went and got educated, and I wish Edson and you both a speedy recovery.
Well, I know I have some Brazilian friends, and really you don't need to give a Brazilian any excuse to go party. Really. I mean, they will make any party, and they will make it a huge celebration. So the Brazilians know how to have fun. I will say that right away. But that's going to be it for today. Once again, your podium for the Homestead Miami 150 from Homestead Miami Speedway. Julian Altena gets yet another win in the season in the crunch here, getting down to the wire and cuts the lead to the points leader, Liam O'Sullivan, by 12 points going to the final race of the season. Edson Santos, yet another podium, comes home second. Matthias Strauss with a surprise podium comes home third. Join Clindy and myself again next week for Championship Friday, round 11 of Season 5 of the VOR ICONIC Series, as the teams and drivers head to the Windy City and Chicagoland Speedway. Coverage starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here on YouTube at youtube.com and just search Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders. Don't miss out on more Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their IndyCar Championship tomorrow, right here from Homestead. It will be the Homestead 300. 3 p.m. Eastern Time will be the start right here on the Velocity Online Racing channel. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow on X and Instagram. The links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on X. So, for Clindy, everyone here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying all happy Friday, and thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us right here again next week for Championship Friday in Chicagoland for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing ICONIC Series. We'll see ya.